Try seat. So.
When I was about,
Hands.
say 39, 40, my body started to change. Now, most of this didn't hit too hard until I was about 43, but the changes were starting a few years before that. Then, my life started falling apart. And I don't mean external things like jobs or pandemics. I mean, physically, I felt like I was falling apart. Old injuries getting worse, rage that I couldn't explain that made no sense, that was not me, just being miserable. My ADHD was out of control. I've built a life, I've built a career around my ADHD, and all of a sudden I couldn't function even in that world. So I happened across a post someone had made about tinnitus, which ironically mine had been getting rather intrusive, which I blamed on my loud hobbies. But they were saying that perimenopause could also make tinnitus worse. Now, I'd heard of perimenopause, but I'd also heard that because I was on birth control, I would probably cruise right on through, straight through to menopause without any issues. That was so wrong. Reality is, perimenopause was hitting me like a freaking freight train. I've always been a little bit of a put on your big girl panties and make it happen kind of gal. And this was destroying my life as I knew it. I couldn't stand myself. How could I expect anybody else to stand being around me? So I started digging into perimenopause more, and lo and behold, there was all these issues I had been dealing with that were probably a direct result of these hormonal changes going on in my body. There's common things that people deal with. Irregular periods, night sweats or hot flashes, or both if you're really unlucky. Mood changes or swings, the rage, again, a lot of women complain about that. There's things like dryness down there, lack of interest in anything along that line. One of the big common complaints is weight gain or weight shift. This one happened to me really bad as well. Hair loss, joint pain, cholesterol. There's a whole slew of issues. All these things. Quite often when you go to your medical doctor, they're going to blame it on depression. They're going to want to throw a pill at it and they're going to want to call it a day. Or they want to test your hormones, which sounds great in theory. The problem is during perimenopause, your hormones are doing this. So if they test you when you're up here, it's going to look fine because the tests are only for that moment. They're not tracking those changes unless you're getting your blood drawn twice a day, every day for months on end. Perimenopause should be diagnosed by symptoms, and unfortunately, a large part of the medical community is very behind the times on all of this. A lot of the studies that they cite or quote are based on the products and hormones that are seldom, if ever, used anymore. Most companies and most products that are being prescribed are going to be bioidentical, which is not what those studies were based on. So just be aware that just because that doctor or your doctor says one thing, it may not actually be the absolute truth. Get a second opinion, talk to somebody else. In July of this year, so a little over 4 months ago, I started on hormone replacement therapy. I chose to go through an online provider because A, I'm busy and don't have time to drive and sit and wait and organize doctor's appointments, and B, I knew they would listen. I wasn't concerned about wasting hours spending time trying to find a doctor that would actually listen to me. So one of my biggest symptoms, like I said earlier, was the ADHD, the rage, the night sweats. Like, I've been taking a sleep aid for months, going on actually a couple years, in order to get any sleep. I had no clue why. I just figured it was, I didn't even actually question why. So after starting hormone replacement therapy, within a matter of weeks, I was able to stop taking the sleep aids. Ever. Haven't touched one in months now. There's only been a random night here or there where I didn't sleep great, and it's been so occasional and just like one-off nights that it's barely crossed my mind that I even still have these sleep aids. My mood stabilized. I feel like myself again, which is great. I can stand being around myself, so pretty sure I'm a little more tolerable to other people and doggies. And the ADHD's under control. I'm focused. I'm able to get things done. I mean, I still have ADHD, so I still squirrel all over the place, but I'm accomplishing things again, right? And my job isn't stressing me out, and I'm not wondering how I'm going to not get fired because I can't do anything. So overall, if you're questioning if you might be in peri, talk to somebody. Get on a group, get on a forum. I have a couple resources linked down below in the description. Feel free to check them out. If you have questions, if you're not sure, obviously you're always encouraged to talk to your doctor or medical professional. Just bear in mind that a lot of doctors tend to dismiss females and women and our issues in this regard. So reach out to somebody who actually does work in this field, that this is what they do and they are not against treating the problems. Once you find somebody who is supportive and understands that this is a real thing, pursue it. See what options exist for you. Not everyone is a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, even with our current availability and products that are out there. But there are supplements and there are supplement routines that are proven to help a variety of women as well. So even if you're not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, or if you have other reasons why you personally want to avoid it, there are other options out there. I do not recommend sticking to one thing and one thing only. If you're at this stage in life, it's real. Some women sail on through, some of us aren't so lucky, but it still happens. It happens to every woman. So be prepared and understand that there are options out there and that you're not alone. Till next time, go rock your world, ladies.